welcome to the September update of my houseplant tour. So it's been about a month since I filmed my houseplant tour showing off all the plants that I have in my collection, and in that month they have changed and grown, and I've propagated some things and I've gotten a few new plants, so I wanted to show you an update on that. This is not a full houseplant tour. If you want to see the full houseplant tour, it's gonna be somewhere here. But yeah, so this is more of just like an update on that. I don't know where I was going with that. There are a couple of new plants that I've gotten since the August houseplant tour, and there are a couple of ones that have new growth. Some I've propagated, some I've potted up from being propagated, so I will show you those as well. So first I'm going to show you the newest plants that I've gotten in the last month. First up we have this absolutely gorgeous string of hearts, and I love this plant, and I've actually repotted it from its original pot because when I brought it home it was very wet, the soil, so I thought that maybe it was just watered, but it didn't seem to be becoming drier in the days that it was at my house. So I decided that I don't want to risk it having root rot, because these are a succulent type of plant and they prefer to dry out like most succulents. So I did not want them to stay wet, so I removed all of its original soil, and I noticed that it did not have a lot of roots to begin with, and it was in a slightly bigger pot than this, and it was hanging. So I removed all the soil and I potted it into this terracotta pot, which will also help it manage the moisture better because it will help dry out the soil between waterings. So here you can see it slightly more close up. I absolutely love this plant. I mean, I would prefer a variegated version because the variegated version of this has pink in it. Like, imagine this but with pink. But still, I love this plant a lot, so I'm very happy I have it, and I really hope it survives. Then I also have a tiny Paelia Pepperminties, I think that's how you pronounce it, and it is absolutely adorable. It is in this small pot that is hanging in my new setup above my begonias, which I will show you afterwards as well because I absolutely love that. And then in this little glass jar I have a cutting of a Syngonium. I believe the common name is Red Arrow. Yeah, it's just this single leaf cutting. It has a tiny bit of roots, a very small amount of roots, and it actually has gotten a little bit burnt there, which I don't think is an actual sunburn because it has not been in direct sunlight at all. So it might be a humidity thing, it might be a shock thing from bringing it home, I don't know. But I'm really hoping that it has a new leaf soon. But it does seem to have a new leaf emerging sometime soon. I just want the roots to get a lot larger before I pot it up in anywhere. And then I also have this tiny unrooted cutting of a Peperomia Watermelon. I actually have a bigger plant, it's in the kitchen, I got it from my mom. To be honest, I'm not sure if the large Peperomia will survive, and I'm very worried about that because as well, when I brought it home, the soil had been just watered, but it was not drying out, so I was kind of getting worried, and I saw that one of the leaves were actually starting to rot at where it met the soil, but at that I thought it might be just because it was touching the soil, the wet soil, for a longer time. I took out all the soil from that as well. I changed it out. Some of the roots, they did not look well. Some of the other leaves have started to go. I took a couple more cuttings from it just in case that main plant doesn't survive. So I really hope that it does because this is such a cute plant, and even though I did not get it for me, I still want it to survive, you know, I don't want it to die in our house. And the last new plant that I have is this guy here, and it is a carnivorous plant. I think it's commonly known as a sundew plant, but it's a carnivorous plant, and I actually keep it in the glass box with my begonias because it's such a damp environment and so moist, and with high humidity it is very prone to fungus gnats. So this guy has been getting fed with fungus gnats, because not as in me, I'm physically feeding him, but fungus gnats are getting trapped in this thing and it is digesting it, and I absolutely love that. I will try to insert probably another video or picture of it, and it has these tiny little dots of, I think it's like sap or whatever, and this is what flies and things like that are attracted to. They get stuck there, and it also has something that digests the bugs, so I find it very, very cool. I had a Venus flytrap in my other apartment and it died in the months that I was gone, which is very sad, so I'm glad to have a different type of carnivorous plant. It's doing alright, it's not the happiest, but it's alive. So then I have some updates on the plants that I already have. First of all, I wanted to say that I mentioned this in a video I did about plants I don't really like. I got rid of my Heterohelix or ivy, which was up there originally. If you want to know why, it'll be somewhere here. I have that video, go watch it. So I showed these in my latest video, that splitting my Syngonium, and so I have another Syngonium plant. It's from the same plant. This looks just as big and bushy as it did before, but it now has more space to grow out more leaves. It's put out a lot of new leaves since I showed it in my houseplant tour, and even since the last video, which was literally like a week ago. This is what it looks like a week from now. Then I wanted to show you the update on Syngonium 3 Kings. So the leaf that I showed in my houseplant tour that was just like half unfurled, this is it. Wow, absolutely love this. Like, look at that variegation. It is so bright and white, and like I absolutely love this. This one doesn't really have any variegation, the original leaf, but that's fine. So this is this, and it has put out a whole new leaf. It is not as big as the other two, but I have potted it up. It was in water until quite recently, but it has some variegation. This variegation is kind of coming in as it grows more, whereas this one was, you could clearly see where the variegation was as it was unfurling. This one didn't seem to have any variegation as it was unfurling, but it does have some things around the sides and stuff. So it will probably get brighter the more it grows. So it's doing really well. I'm very happy with it. It's kind of very wide, I don't know why. I kind of want to like squeeze them together to like make them be more of this, otherwise it's just so empty. But anyway, I still love this Syngonium a lot. Then I have this small Coleus blume, which is a propagation that I had from the large plant, which I will actually show you. Wow, this thing grows so much, so fast. Like, I absolutely love this plant. It is so easy to propagate. It is so colorful. I absolutely love this thing. Like, look at that red. Like, isn't that just so amazing? I absolutely love this. By the way, my girlfriend got me this plant as a gift, and I did not say that last time I talked about this plant, so thank you. I love this plant, babe. That was so weird to say on camera, but yes, this was a gift and I love it, and it's one of my favorite plants because just look at that. I'm at a loss for words, honestly. Half this video is going to be me showing this plant. So yeah, last video I had some propagations of this and I finally potted them up, so I have 3 little thingies in there, and it's growing so fast. Like, if I wanted to, I could have 30 of these ginormous plants in like a month. Okay, so next up I have the snake plant, and I actually potted this into soil like a couple of days ago. I really hope it does well because it has a lot of roots. It's been in water for a really, really long time, and it has not thrown out a new leaf, which I kind of wanted to do, and I was considering just leaving it in soil and adding some water fertilizer type thing, so maybe it gets more nutrients and whatever, but I just decided to pot it up, and hopefully it survives, that it's not too big of a shock, because it did have a lot of roots. And if your plant has a lot of roots and water, and then you suddenly put it into soil, it can really be too much of a shock and it might die. But snake plants are really, really, really resilient to a lot of things, so hopefully it puts out a new leaf soon. So then I have propagating this, which is actually the Dracaena that's there. I actually noticed that the bigger one here, it actually had 4 of these branches type things, where the smaller one had only 3. So I decided that I'm going to chop that top part off and pop it into soil. It does not have any roots yet. It might take a while. Yeah, this is more of an experiment more than anything. It's not like I want to have another Dracaena. It just like, yeah, it's more of an experiment really. So we'll see if and when it develops roots. Then this is an update on this Begonia. I did show it in my houseplant tour and it had not rooted yet, but now this guy has quite a bit of roots. I don't know if you'll be able to see it. They're kind of tiny, but it's a lot of roots. I'm kind of like regretting that I've cut it so long because I really didn't need to. You can cut it like here, plop it into water and it will root, which actually is something I did with one of my mom's begonias because hers is a lot dark green and it has rooted and it was like this much stem. Yeah, this is the one I got from my mom's and it has a very tiny stem, but it roots just fine. So yeah, I don't know why I did so long because I mean I could cut it again, put it into water and it will get roots eventually, but I'm not bothered. It's already rooted, so yeah. So next I have an update on the Hoya Carrii, which has a lot of roots now. I'm not sure if you'll be able to see it, yeah. And it has actually a new leaf forming, so that's very exciting. I think when this leaf has gotten bigger, I will chop this off, put this into water so it grows roots, and put this into soil. So I have more of these because I really like them. I didn't used to love these, but they're kind of growing on me, honestly. Then I have in this little terrarium here, I have some propagations of the Tradescantia zebrina that I've potted into soil now. They root really quickly. I was so happy. It literally rooted enough roots to be potted in like 3 days. It was kind of ridiculous. So I potted it into soil now. I showed this tiny begonia in my last video, but it has gotten a few new leaves and it's growing slowly but surely. So yeah, I'm not too bothered about it growing slowly. So also an update on the golden pothos. It kind of looks really weird on camera, but I potted it into soil. There's a lot of roots, so I might need to repot it really soon, even though I potted it into soil quite recently. And I've also built this trellis so that it has something to climb on as well. I kind of want these to go downwards, but they're kind of sticking up. So I don't know, I will try to probably train them to go downwards and arrange this better because I just wanted them to get used to the soil and then I can deal with everything else. Oh, and I think one of the last things I wanted to show you is this plant. Keep forgetting the name. Cyclamen. I remember I struggled with the name last time as well. It had these super long strands, which there are still a couple of, but it gave out a lot of new leaves. So I just cut off the really long ones. So it's looking really, really nice now that they're not like, you know, this, which, you know, they were only doing to survive, but now they're thriving. I think that was all of the plants that I wanted to really show you, but I also wanted to show you my kind of newer setup of plants because of course I'm moving plants around all the time, but I actually built a little hanging station for some of my plants for a couple of propagations and some of the plants that are just hanging there, so I will show you that now. So here I'll quickly show you that. So that's where my begonias are, and I've put in the little carnivorous plant. You probably can't see it because all of the reflections, but that's where it is. And then on top of it here I have this frame where I have hung some of my plants. So we have the Hoya Carrii, we have the beautiful Philodendron micans, here we have the propagations of the Peperomia and Syngonium, as well as the Begonia there. Then we have the Paelia Pepperminties, and I think it's very cute. There's still space for more plants and I can change it out. I'm still thinking about, oh, this video is gonna be so shaky, but I'm thinking about a lighting situation up there because this corner is quite dark. And also I wanted to show you my absolute monstrosity of a collection of garden crotons. I literally have 6 of them because I'm selling them off, but for now they're all in my house still. So yeah, this is, of course, None of you will be able to see that because super bad lighting, but that's where everything is currently. That's my windowsill. You definitely will not be able to see any of that, but that is where things are right now. So I think that is the update for September. Yeah, my houseplant collection is growing. I'm getting rid of a couple of things. I'm very happy with all of my plants. They're doing quite well. I'm trying to figure out a couple of lighting situations for them, but I think that's a whole nother video. If you like this type of content, remember to subscribe, like, comment, helps with my engagement, you know? I'm just blabbering at this point. Yeah, next video I have out is hopefully not going to be plant related. Yeah, but I really am enjoying making plant content, honestly. It's very fun. It's very fun to just talk about my plants. And people apparently like me talking about my plants. Not everyone. I assure you this is not content for everyone, but for those of you who do enjoy it, thank you. Yeah, I've been talking for a really long time. I need to stop talking. That's it. That's the video.